NBA Quiz, Power Forwards Edition. The quiz consists of 20 questions. For each right answer you get 1 point. All the questions are relating to the power forward position and players that have played the position. Let's start. Nicknamed the Unicorn, this player was drafted by the New York Knicks in the 2015 NBA draft. Danilo Gallinari, Kristaps Porzingis, Kevin Garnett. Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis was drafted 4th overall in the 2015 NBA draft by the New York Knicks. During his rookie season, Kevin Durant dubbed Porzingis a basketball unicorn because of his rare combination of talents. What was Tim Duncan's jersey number? 21, number 1, or 12? #21. During his 18 seasons in the NBA, Duncan wore number 21 on his jersey. Which team drafted Charles Barkley? Phoenix Suns, Philadelphia 76ers, Houston Rockets. Philadelphia 76ers. Barkley was selected with the 5th pick in the first round by the Philadelphia 76ers in the 1984 NBA draft, 2 slots after the Chicago Bulls drafted Michael Jordan. Where was Dirk Nowitzki born? USA, Canada, Germany. Germany. Nowitzki was born in Würzburg, Germany in 1978. As a child, this NBA player lived and worked in a farm. Kevin Garnett, Karl Malone, Tony Kukoc. Karl Malone. Born in Summerfield, Louisiana, Malone was the youngest of 9 children and during his childhood lived on a farm with his single mother, Shirley. Malone often worked at the farm and chopped trees, hunted and fished. In 1996, he won the Sixth Man of the Year award. Tony Kukoc, Horace Grant, Detlef Schrempf. Tony Kukoc. For the 1995-96 season, the Bulls were bolstered by both Jordan's return to full form and the off-season acquisition of Dennis Rodman. With Pippen still at small forward, coach Phil Jackson saw it best to have Kukoc continue to be a bench player. Kukoc was 3rd on the team in scoring and was rewarded for his efforts with the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award. In a dunk contest, he jumped over a car. Shawn Kemp, Karl Malone, Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin won the 2011 Slam Dunk Contest by jumping and dunking over the hood of a Kia sedan on February 19 in Los Angeles. This NBA player went on a 2-day food binge and gained around 20 pounds to avoid getting drafted by a particular team, but the team drafted him anyway. Zion Williamson, Robert Horry, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley. In an interview, Barkley expressed he went on a 48-hour food binge and getting to a weight of 300 pounds to avoid getting drafted by the Sixers, who eventually drafted him anyway. Who is nicknamed the Big E? Elton Brand, Elvin Hayes, Kevin Garnett. Elvin Hayes. Known for both his offensive and defensive prowess, Hayes is often regarded as one of the best power forwards in the NBA history. Hayes never missed more than 2 games in any of his 16 seasons in the NBA. In addition to his 1968 scoring title, he led the NBA in rebounding in 1970 and 1974. In college, he was part of the Fab Five: Chris Webber, Bob Pettit, Elton Brand. Chris Webber. As a collegiate athlete, Webber was a first-team All-American and led the Michigan Wolverines' 1991 incoming freshman class known as the Fab Five that reached the 1992 and 1993 NCAA Men's Division I basketball championship games as freshmen and sophomores. Who is the first player to be drafted out of high school since 1975? Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, Amare Stoudemire. Kevin Garnett. Garnett entered the 1995 NBA draft, where he was selected with the 5th overall pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves and became the first NBA player drafted directly out of high school in 20 years. Who is the player with the highest score in an All-Star game? Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, Dirk Nowitzki. Anthony Davis. Hometown star Anthony Davis made sure to display an inspiring performance in the 2017 All-Star Game in New Orleans when he set the record for the most points with 52 to help the Western Conference win over the Eastern Conference 192-182. How many NBA MVPs did Bob Pettit win? 1, 3, 2. 2. Bob Pettit won the NBA MVP award in 1956 and 1959. Who is the only non-American to win the All-Star Game MVP award? Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dirk Nowitzki, Nikola Jokic. Giannis Antetokounmpo. At the 2021 All-Star Game, Giannis scored 35 points on a perfect 16 of 16 shooting from the field to lead his team to a 170-150 win and became the first non-American to win the All-Star Game MVP. In 1993, Chris Webber was selected with the first pick by the Orlando Magic but was traded the same night. Which of these players was on the other side of the trade? Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Hardaway, Juwan Howard. Anthony Hardaway. Webber was selected by the Orlando Magic with the first pick of the 1993 NBA draft, becoming the first sophomore since Magic Johnson to be a number 1 overall draft pick. The Magic immediately traded him to the Golden State Warriors in exchange for Penny Hardaway and 3 future first-round draft picks. Who was the first player to win the NBA MVP award? Bob Pettit, Elvin Hayes, Kevin McHale. In 1956, Pettit became the first recipient of the NBA's Most Valuable Player award, and he won the award again in 1959. This NBA great dreamt of becoming an Olympic swimmer as a child. Alonzo Mourning, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan. Duncan started out as an aspiring swimmer and only began playing basketball in 9th grade when Hurricane Hugo destroyed the only available Olympic-sized pool in his homeland of St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Who is the power forward with the most career assists? Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Karl Malone. Karl Malone. Karl Malone has the most career assists by a power forward with 5,248 assists. Who drafted LaMarcus Aldridge with the second pick of the 2006 NBA draft? Portland Trail Blazers, San Antonio Spurs, Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls. Aldridge was drafted second overall in the 2006 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls, only to have his rights traded to the Portland Trail Blazers for their pick Tyrus Thomas and Victor Kriapa shortly after. Drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks in 1998, this NBA player was selected as an All-Star 14 times and won an NBA championship. Kevin Garnett, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki. Milwaukee Bucks selected Nowitzki with the 9th pick in the 1998 NBA draft and traded him to the Dallas Mavericks in a multi-team deal. Future star point guard Steve Nash came to Dallas in the same trade. Who is the greatest player to ever play the power forward position? What was your score? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Leave your like if you enjoyed the quiz. See you in the next quiz.